Hello, this is the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, and on myjoyonline.com. We're also live in all 16 regions of Ghana on Radio Sonmali, while Radio Jubilee, Keta, and Bipe FM Bipe. We're also live on X Spaces and Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Coming up this afternoon, the lives of children with hemophilia are in danger due to a 3-month delay in the delivery of blood clotting drugs at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital.
It's because the clotting concentrate is not available, they can't undergo the surgery.
We have details of that story also coming up. The dialysis unit at Kolebu Teaching Hospital has been shut down for nearly 2 weeks with no clear explanation from the hospital, leaving patients urgently calling for assistance.
Treat that with some respect. Everybody will die. But the point is, communicate with us. So at least if somebody has got some money somewhere, you know that from now to this time, let me put it somewhere because I will not be getting Kolebu. No communication, nothing.
Also this afternoon, Institute for Democratic Governance, IDEG, urges Electoral Commission of Ghana to publish certified results of all polling stations ahead of the final tallying and declaration of election results in order to promote transparency and to safeguard Ghana's democracy.
Has to do with the publication of polling station by polling station results officially on the website of the Electoral Commission.
We have details of that coming up shortly. Also, Greater Accra Regional Minister Titus Glover gives a week ultimatum to clear all invaders of the old Agbogbloshie market to preserve the land for the Agenda 111 project.
And using the place for all kinds of things. I will mobilize my team, hopefully next week, to go and assess what is happening.
In sports,
Ghanaians would have killed Ket Okreku if I applied for Black Stars coaching job. Abdul Karim Zito says, as people claim that his affiliation to Ket Okreku is a reason why he's getting national team jobs.
And much later in the bulletin, we'll tell you about the 2 major regrets of President Akufo-Addo as discovered by freelance journalist Manasseh Azuri Anwani.
He regrets appointing Martin Amidu, and Gabi confirmed that. But he also regrets not presenting the Supreme Court judge as the speaker.
We'll be delving into his book titled The President Ghana Never Got. But why this title though?
The title was taken from Tanati saying that if Akufo-Addo had died without becoming president, my respect for him would have been greater than he becoming president. And that we all thought this is the man to make Ghana great again. When he came, we didn't experience what we expected.
These and more with me, Maame Nyamekye Thompson. Please stay for details. This afternoon, the lives of children with hemophilia are in danger due to a 3-month delay in the delivery of blood clotting components at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. Parents of these children say the delay is caused by the Food and Drugs Authority's failure to release necessary documents for the importation of the donor-sponsored medication. Concerned mothers warn that further delays could result in fatalities among children with the condition. More details in the following report.
Hemophilia is a rare disorder in which blood does not clot in a typical way, as a patient could bleed for a longer time after an injury. Mothers of children living with hemophilia count it a blessing when their wards make it through the day unhurt. This is due to the absence of the blood component responsible for the clotting of blood at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, which serves people with the condition in the northern sector of the country. The concentrates of clotting factor 8 and clotting factor 9 are slowly dripped or injected into the veins of a patient to improve blood clots when injured. 6 years ago, Sandra Opoku's newly born baby died after circumcision due to the failure of the blood to clot. Presently, her toddler has a similar condition but has continued to live due to the medical support received. But as the shortage of concentrates linger, Sandra lives in constant fear and worry.
What is making us very worried is that if you go to Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, a lot of our children are in pain after sustaining injuries. Some of them are unable to walk. Some children will have to undergo surgery, but because the clotting concentrate is not available, they can't undergo the surgery.
Though the Hemophilia, which is one of the medications for the condition, is available, the factor 8 and 9 remain crucial. The concerned mothers are blaming the FDA's failure to release a document to access the medication from donors. They are calling for an intervention of stakeholders to halt possible deaths that may result from the situation.
We don't have even some of the markets for us to buy. The concern is that before we get the drugs, we have to take a letter from the Food and Drugs Authority so that we will take the drugs outside to the donors for them to release the drugs for us. But for now, close to about 3 months now, we've not received the letter to enable us to send it outside for us to receive those drugs.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
That's a report by my colleague Nanaya Ojima, and he joins me on the line with more details on this disturbing development. Nanaya, what reason is Komfo Teaching Hospital given for them unable to restock the blood clotting drugs as of now?
We've been trying to get an official response from the Komfo Teaching Hospital, but unfortunately we are yet to get that. But our sources indicate that Komfo receives these medication from the Hemophilia Society, who go to the FDA, get authorization, and send that authorization to the World Federation of Hemophilia for them to donate these essential medicines to the Ghana Society, who intend stock the Komfo and Kolebu Teaching Hospital with these medications. But unfortunately, due to their inability to get this authorization, they are unable to import for the hospitals in the country. So it's become very difficult for parents to get the care they need from the Komfo Teaching Hospital.
The name of the Food and Drugs Authority comes up about them delaying to give them some form of documents to allow them bring in the medications. Have we heard from them yet?
And we've been trying since yesterday to get an official information from the Food and Drugs Authority, but unfortunately they are yet to give us any. We spoke to some people within the PR quarters, but they've all refused to give us further information on what is actually happening.
Well, do these mothers have any alternative if these drugs don't come in anytime soon?
Presently, there's one medication at the hospitals, but unfortunately, it's not as effective as the factor 8 and the factor 9, which are very essential for treatment of these children with their condition.
All right, thank you so much. Nanaya Ojima is my colleague in the Shanti Region Love News. Now, Kolebu Dialysis unit have also been closed for the past 13 days, forcing patients in need of urgent care to seek treatment at expensive private facilities, while those unable to afford such care are left without options. Bafwa Hinkwa, president of the Kidney Patients Association, informed Joy News that the closure is reportedly due to a shortage of some consumables. He's urging the hospital authorities to provide clear communication on when the facility will reopen.
The dialysis unit, how long has it been shut for?
Sunday coming be exactly 2 weeks.
What's the reason they've given?
You and I were not there. We don't even know what is happening. We've not been told anything. Nobody has communicated anything to us. So we're just looking at them. But it's creating a lot of problem for us.
The problems that it's creating is what I want to find out. What sort of problem is it creating for people like yourself?
Big problem. One, Kolebu, because it's a government facility, the price here is a bit not cheap, but it's a bit moderate. So now when you go to the private centers, they are charging between 600 to 1,000 per session. Most of us are supposed to do 2 or 3 sessions a week. So let's take the lowest, 600 per session. You need about 1,200 to do a week. And how many can afford? You just can't afford doing it. And I keep saying, they should treat us with some respect. We are human beings. The mere fact we have end-stage kidney failure, maybe everybody will die. But the point is, communicate with us. So at least if somebody has got some money somewhere, you know that from now to this time, let me put it somewhere because I will not be getting Kolebu. No communication. Nothing. You come here, you see the nurses around, they are there. Yes, they are ready to work, but we hear it's a rumor that there's no consumables. It's a rumor. Like I said, it's not officially communicated with us to anything. So we hear they are not consumables.
Well, let's cross over now to Kolebu, where my colleague Kenneth Jesse has been all morning. Kenneth, you've been there since morning. Have you been able to glean any information from the authorities why the facility is still closed down?
Well, we've tried to get the hospital administrators to speak to in order to understand the reasons behind the closure and when it tends to reopen, but have been unsuccessful. No one is willing to speak to us on the issue, but we will certainly try and to get more details from the officials. Now, if you come here, the place is empty with just 2 people inside. Only the security personnel and the president of the Kidney Patients Association were spotted when we got here. Now, the president of the association tells us that since the closure of the dialysis unit about 2 weeks ago, 3 kidney patients have sadly lost their lives, although he cannot categorically say that they died because of the closure, since he is not a medical professional. He says their members plan on purchasing the dialysis unit next week if the situation persists, because most of their members are fighting for their lives since the facility was closed. Those that cannot afford the private facilities have had to reduce the number of times they go for the dialysis, and the ones that cannot afford the private facilities are home.
All right, thank you so much, Kenneth Jesse. Sad story there as he informs us that 3 kidney patients have unfortunately lost their lives due to the shutdown of the Kolebu renal unit. We'll be following up on this situation and update listeners on the developments. Away from there, Greater Accra Regional Minister Titus Glover has issued a 1-week ultimatum to remove all encroachers from the 80-acre reclaimed Agbaglushi market land. The former onion market was cleared 3 years ago in a major demolition exercise to make way for a modern health facility under the Agenda 111 initiative. However, with the project yet to commence, the area has been overrun by encroachers. Speaking on Newsnight last night, Titus Glover vowed that all encroachers will be evicted in a week.
When I took over in the handed over notes, it stated that part of the land will be used for that purpose. But as we speak now, I've not had any commitment from the Agenda 111 Secretariat. I've been told that some people have been dumping refuse and using the place for all kinds of things. So I will mobilize my team, hopefully next week, to go and assess what is happening at the place and bring that into normalcy.
Well, just today we had information that there's some development ongoing on that land, and so my colleague Sweeto Abochi went back to the area to find out what the situation was. This was what she found out.
I'm standing in the middle of that 80-acre yard that reported a few days ago that some of the scrap dealers have returned to. Some of the things we witnessed when we came here were open defecation, drug peddling, and dumping of refuse. Right now, we've seen some contractors here on site, and they said they're digging and filling the land in preparation towards building that modern health facility under the Agenda 111 initiative. I want to speak to one of the contractors or consultants here to shed more light on the activities happening here. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us. To set the ball rolling, how long have you been on site and doing this?
All right, okay. So currently what they are doing is excavating to stabilize the site. We realized that there was a lot of contamination here. So the best, and apart from that, the ground is not stable. So they are digging, you see boulders around. Okay, so they have to do that so that they can stabilize the site. I think they started this somewhere in May. However, because of the rain, and you can tell the ground is so that's where they are. But this is to enable them get a firm ground so that the buildings will start. But it is not on an 80-acre land.
Yard.
Yeah, okay, the entire this thing, like you are saying, but the Agenda 111 is limited to about 12.5 acres.
Okay, which is part of the 80 acre. The entire yard is 80 acres, but the Agenda 111 is only going to be on 12 acres.
On 12.5 acres, yes.
Okay. And how long have you been here? You said since May. And are you here every day of the week?
As consultants, we as consultants we come here as and when. But however, the contractor is here throughout.
Okay.
But like I said, because of the rains, when the rain started, then they had to stop. Because if you had come here during the rain, you will see the pool of water here. here.
Okay, so it means that the days that we came here, if we didn't cite anyone, it's because of the rain and they couldn't be possibly filling and digging in that situation?
Well, I don't know when you came here, and I can't tell the condition, whether it rained or not. Yeah, I don't know when, so I can't respond to that. Yeah.
And you heard there Sweetie Abochi speaking to a consultant on the site of Sai Akono. Moving away, the Institute for Democratic Governance is urging the Electoral Commission of Ghana to publish results of all polling stations before the declaration of final results in the upcoming 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Ghana's polls have had a history of electoral petitions at the Supreme Court based on allegations of faulty processes at the polling stations. The Electoral Commission has also come under heavy criticism for declaring the 2020 election results twice owing to result tallying anomalies. However, to forestall such occurrences, which it deems as a threat to the country's democracy, IDEC says all polling station results must be published on the EC's website. Kwesi Jonah is a senior research fellow at the Institute for Democratic Governance.
We must either fast track or backtrack. If we don't want to backtrack, if we want to fast track, then we must conduct reforms, because in spite of all the nice records that I've just pointed out, we know that there are certain weaknesses, there are certain lapses in our democracy. And some of these weaknesses relate to the electoral process. The European Union, which since 2012 has consistently observed elections in Ghana, has always come up with certain recommendations that will help us to reform in order to fast-track our democracy and not to backtrack. Today's meeting, as Mr. Patrick Okine has already explained, has to do with two of these recommendations. One of them has to do with the publication of polling station by polling station results officially on the website of the Electoral Commission. Why is this necessary? To be very frank with you, there's no serious political party in this country that can say that they don't have the results, polling station by polling station results, because our system of elections is such that at every polling station there are two agents for the political party, one for the presidential candidate, one for the parliamentary candidate.
And we cross over to the event. My colleague Blessed Soga is there and will join us on the phone lines now. Blessed, we know the EC and other stakeholders are at this engagement. How are they receiving the proposal to establish the election results on the EC's website?
We're yet to hear from the political parties which have representation here at the roundtable, which is being organized by the Institute for Democratic Governance, except to say that the day has been reserved for the Electoral Commission to actually tackle the issues and also outline some of the reforms taking place. Fortunately, Director of Training for the EC, Dr. Shribo Kweku, is the one explaining what the EC intends to do about all of these anomalies that have been taking place over the years. He said that the political parties must be willing to accept the outcome of the results while they also work assiduously to ensure that they address the issues about the tallying. On the tallying itself, he said that the window that they have between the final declaration and the window of 25 days for any aggrieved party to go to court is the only period within which the EC can collate all of the figures from the polling stations and to officially put that on their website. We can listen.
Petitioning a presidential result. Because the once we are not doing electronic tallying and declaration, you need to be scanning the polling station results. And we are talking about 41,000. So we need to also be very careful. We don't say that you can do that before you declare the results. Because in Ghana, if you take 2020, we declared within 48 hours. So how can you collect them? But our intention is that for constituency results, regional results, and national results, they should be on our website before the final declaration of the presidential results. But the polling station one, we are planning to put them there before the deadline for petitioning presidential election results are over. So that's what we are planning to do. Thank you. But the other issue is that some of them too, you cannot determine, assuming there's a litigation on it, you cannot put it there when it is being litigated. So at times circumstances may also affect the plan. Thank you.
Away from still on elections, I beg your pardon, NDC flag bearer John Mahama has vowed to ensure Ghana remains peaceful throughout the December elections and beyond. Addressing the 31st Biennial General Council meeting of the Assemblies of God Church in the Upper East region, he said no political ambition justifies the shedding of even a single drop of Ghanaian blood.
We have elections this year. The church has interceded for us over the years. Indeed, we should not think that it's a mere coincidence that Ghana continues to be an oasis of peace in a turbulent sub-region. It is the intercession of the men of God and women of God that has kept our country safe and secure. And so, as we go into another election, often there's a general sense of apprehension that something will go wrong. As a member of your church, I can assure you and pledge that I'm a person of peace, and if there's any violence, it won't come from me. I'll do everything to ensure that Ghana remains peaceful. Because if you resort to violence, it is the same people you are coming to govern over. And so I don't think that even a single drop of any Ghanaian's blood is worth political power or coming into office.
NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama taking us on a break on the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll be right back with sports, and later we'll tell you about the two major regrets of President Akufo-Addo as discovered by freelance journalist Manasseh Azuri Awoni.
He regrets appointing Martin Amidu in Gabicon.
Luck is everywhere for everyone. Yeah. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone. Yeah. Doctors, nurses, barbers, drivers, bouncers, friends, teachers, bankers. You could be the luckiest. You could be the luckiest. East, west, north, south, you could be the luckiest. You could be the luckiest. Accra to Paga. Let's go. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone. Yeah. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone. Yeah. Doctors, nurses, barbers, drivers, bouncers, friends, teachers, bankers. The luckiest. You could be the luckiest.
Welcome back to the Midday News. We have sports.
Maame, imagine if your brother or friend decides to give you a job.
Mm-hmm.
The reaction from the general public.
Why?
Well, that's the story of Abdul Karim Zito, who has gotten so many appointments since Keto Kreku became GFA president. Recently, people had said that he should apply for the Black Stars coaching job, but he said his decision not to apply for the role was because he believed people would have come for the skin of Keto Kreku if he had applied.
When we fail the AFCON and insult all round on Kate and adding what you call it, salt upon mini. Then again they hear Zito has applied for Blaster. Kate will die. He's a human being. So I decided I don't want him to die, so I have to say no to my own, to the detriment of my life.
But if he was not president, you would have applied.
No, I would have applied. Why not? I qualify all the criteria they brought. I've qualified. Look, I was into coaching from 82. Those who even brought the criteria, they were so what do I need again? Look, Coach Ade, Afrani, they all like me when they, you understand me? When they had the blast time. Why? Maxwell had, Tanko had. So if me too, Abba, if it is qualifying, I'll qualify. But this is Ghana for you. You also have to think before you apply for anything you want.
Prime Day comes your way at 7:30 p.m. on the Joy News channel on Saturday.
Thank you so much. Now, a coalition of concerned teacher trainees in the Ashanti region is demanding the closure of the 46 colleges across the country following the unabated strike by the teachers. The Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAC, boycotted the classrooms after government reneged on its promise to implement the arbitral award orders. There's more in this report.
Classrooms in all the 46 colleges of education across the country remain empty. The Colleges of Education Teachers Association has since June 14 embarked on an industrial action seeking the government's implementation of outstanding compulsory arbitration awards. The 8-week-old strike has stalled academic progress and adversely affected students. The teacher trainees who are bearing the brunt of the impasse are left stranded. The coalition of concerned teacher trainees says the strike has left the students stranded and affecting their mental well-being. Opokudia Manuel is the convener of the group.
As a result of this strike action, we teacher trainees and teaching staffs of colleges of education are facing with an unprecedented crisis and misgivings. Our educational journey as trainees is at a standstill, and future of teachers' education and Ghana's development is at risk. The ongoing strike has left teacher trainees of the 46 colleges of education in chaos, stranded and uncertain about our future. Without our tutors, access to relevant course outlines and materials to even attempt self-study has become extremely difficult. The financial burden is affecting our mental health and well-being. We urgently call on the government, stakeholders, and well-meaning Ghanaians to help resolve this impasse.
The group is demanding a temporary shutdown of their schools until an urgent resolution is reached.
If government cannot resolve this issue immediately, we demand that the colleges of education should be closed and students be allowed to return home, since it has been more than 21 days without students engaging with their tutors.
Now, details of a book authored by freelance journalist Manasseh Azuriawuni has raised eyebrows and dropped jaws, as those who have read it say they are in awe at the happenings which occurred in government. Now, the book, The President Ghana Never Got, highlights issues including how President Akufo-Addo got to know about the choice of Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, popularly known as Napo, as Dr. Bawumia's vice presidential nominee, how a Supreme Court judge was promised the position of Speaker of Parliament but never got that post, plus why Dr. Bawumia was opposed by some bigwigs of the party as a vice presidential candidate in favor of current Interior Minister Ambrose Derry. The Super Morning Show discussed excerpts of the book.
Dr. Bawumia met Akufo-Addo and they discussed the selection of Napo. The following morning, Gabi's radio station broke the news.
Yes, it was obvious that the vice president had settled on Napo. He was going to inform the president. He knew that the president had a few concerns.
Even before he ran, he was...
I want to look at how a judge was promised the Speaker of Parliament. By the beginning of the new year, we had Michael Kwe.
They actually called the Supreme Court judge and say, prepare, we are going to make you Speaker. But the Supreme Court judge said, if you want me to resign, then send an official letter so that I resign. The presidency didn't send a letter. The next time the Supreme Court judge hears on the radio, someone else, that's Michael Kwe, is asked to go for this position. And a source very close to Akufo-Addo says one of his biggest regrets in politics. He regrets appointing Martin Amidu.
And those are excerpts of Manasseh's book. Now, Joy Prime's Big Chef Tertiary audition train has made its third stop at the Tamale Technical University. And as the clock ticks closer to the start of the much-anticipated cooking competition, the students are gearing up with a blend of excitement. Now, participants have been speaking to Lois Shola Adeyemi.
Big Chef Tertiary.
The kitchen has no boundaries.
So we're here at Tamale Technical University. Now I'm here with Tim.
James.
All right. First of all, how did you guys get into the competition? How did you hear about it?
Oh, okay. So for example, I watched the last season. That is where the other technical universities were partaking.
If your team wins, you'll be representing the school. How sure are you that this time you're going to be winning?
We'll be winning because we are fully prepared for this. Yes.
And then when you make it into the main show, you'll be competing against 7 other schools. In the north alone, we have Bogatanga, we have Wa. Are there no competition enough?
They should clear road.
And the live audition will be live on Joy Prime at 3 p.m. and live on YouTube and Facebook at Joy Prime TV. And right about now, Jackie joins me in studio with trending topics. Jackie, what's up?
Well, the social media way this morning, and let me say this afternoon, is full of violence. You know, Kwesi Arthur.
Beating who?
Well, Kwesi Arthur made a post on his X handle about a Fiodor who is an influencer. Apparently, he claims that the lady has been going about saying certain stuff about him, that he has some stuff to do in the past. So he addressed it for the first time. He says that, so the post says, I've been silent for too long. It's disheartening to see so many people oblivious to someone constantly using my name for clout, a storyline and attention with allegations and scenarios. He actually says a lot, and people have been reacting to this. He made this post very early in the morning, so people are like, hey, where is this violence coming from? And of course, Stonebwoy also has a new song out titled Pray For Me. So hashtag Pray For Me is trending.
Pray for me?
Yes, Pray For Me. Well, there's a line that's in the song. It says that life gets hard, but it's worth living. So people are reacting to the song.
Beautiful song.
Yeah.
And that's how we end the bulletin here on the Midday News. I am Nyamekye Thompson. Up next is Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil.
Well-being is our top priority. With skilled professionals and top-notch services, we offer a wide range of ozone therapy services, including IV therapy, steam ozone